Hello and welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. Although the football team snagged a pretty big win against the Rattlers, their next opponent is a pretty big team, and they're going to need an extra push for the win.
The Trojan football team is set to face off against the Nebraska Cornhuskers in Lincoln, Nebraska. This will be the first away game of the season as well as the first noon game. Head coach Neil Brown discusses how the team has prepared for the matchup.
We practice every day in fall camp. That we're on a normal schedule at 9 a.m. I'm all for them. I'd play every game at 11 a.m. I'll be home by 7 if flight goes well, so I'm for it. But no, it's you have to. I think you have to prepare for that. It's not natural, you know. For I think if you went and walked on campus, a lot of these people that don't have 9 or 10 a.m. classes aren't up by 11, you know, and our players aren't any different.
Coach Brown goes on to discuss how the matchup will not be an easy one.
I thought they played extremely hard last week. And I know that we're going to face a really hungry team, Jerry, when we get up there, especially after last week's outcome. They're looking to not only get the first win of the season, but also first win of his coaching tenure there at Nebraska. There's going to be a lot of emotions from their side.
Players Caleb Barker and Tron Folson also discussed the upcoming matchup.
I would say probably the nerves. You know, once you get out there and you kind of get things going, those kind of go away, but either the nerves or probably hearing, honestly, because there's a lot of communication that has to happen up front and me to the linemen. So communication will be key. You have to be loud, but I think we should settle in just fine.
They do a lot of options and quick games, so it's basically going to be a big discipline part. Everybody doing their job and staying in their gaps. The linebackers getting over the top and the D-line just getting their hands on the tackle for the linebackers to scrape. The secondary just basically playing with their eyes and not staring at the quarterback. So we got it's basically a lot of mental things that we have to work on, but it's small things.
The Trojans will travel to Lincoln, Nebraska for an early morning game against the Huskers. Kickoff is set for 11 a.m.
Going over to soccer, while their trip to Tuscaloosa did not go as well, they would have wanted. The Trojan soccer team got good practice against such a high-caliber team as the next game will open Sun Belt Conference play. Head coach Jed O'Connor gives us a look.
We feel that if our players on the pitch can individually make 1 or 2 minor adjustments, we're relatively happy with how things are. We've got 2 good days of practice. Yesterday was good. So now going into Friday, it's our first game, it's conference, it's home. I'm expecting a number of great performances out of some of our main players.
The ladies will be the first host team this Friday at the Troy Soccer Complex to take on the Raging Cajuns of Louisiana. Game time is set for 7 p.m.
After being on the road for nearly 2 weeks, the volleyball team is home before opening conference play for the Troy Classic. The team will face the likes of Kennesaw State, FAMU, and Jacksonville State. Head coach Josh Lauer gives us a preview of their upcoming matches.
Well, obviously we gotta tighten up our serve game without question. Our serve cost us against Clemson, and you just can't. You have to find that balance between serving tough, but being in control, and I think we kind of tipped the scale there a little bit. So that's been high on our priority list going into this week. So our focuses for this week is we feel like we have to do a better job of winning longer rallies. So taking swings to end long rallies, serving, being more consistent from the service line without sacrificing, making serves tough.
This Friday, the ladies take on Kennesaw State in Trojan Arena at 6:30 p.m. On Saturday, the ladies hit a doubleheader with FAMU at 10 a.m. and JSU at 4:30 p.m.
Looking over at cross country, after finishing second at the Azalea City Classic in Mobile, the Trojan cross country team will take another trip to Oxford to compete in the JSU Foothills Invitational. Head coach Elliot Blount gives us a look.
We have 2 weeks of no competition, so for 2 weekends we just stay back in Detroit and grind, man. It's the time to just really put some good work in. So that's what we'll do for the next 2 weeks, but then we go back to JSU where we opened up the season at and try to kind of build on some of the things that we did well there and take some of what we did from Azalea City and try to put that 2 weeks together, 2 weeks of training together along with that and really have a nice showing and starting that kind of roll into championship season.
Once again, the Trojans will compete in the JSU Foothills Invitational this Saturday in Oxford.
That's all the time we have for Trojan Sports Now. Check us out online at youtube.com/Troy Trojan Vision to catch anything you missed.
For Briana Jones, I'm Antonio Reese. Thanks for watching, and as always,
Go
go Trojans!